So what is mean by testing? Why do you need a testing in the software applications or products? It can be any industry, not necessarily you have to take only software industry. Anywhere, the testing is very, very important. So what will happen if testing is not there, and how important it is, we'll discuss today. So basically testing is nothing but just checking whether particular product or application is working as per the customer expectation or not. That's what the testing. So everybody has a testing skills. Even in your home you are checking something, whether that is working or not, right? So you take your washing machine or whatever you take, your mobile, your TV, laptop, anything if you take, you want to do some operation. If that operation is working or not, you will check that. Particular feature is working or not, you will check that. So that is what a testing. So then why do you need a testing is because you buy a product, right? That product is not working. Then what you will your expression will be different, right? You will feel okay, so a little bit embarrassed and angry on that company or somewhere. So that company, again, you won't go and buy that product. You will spread your words with your friends also. This is not reliable products and don't buy them. Such kind of words will go, and that company reputation will go in toss, right? So that's why if they test it properly and release to the market, and it is very useful for the customers, and what customer is expecting, that is fulfilling, then there is no issues. So you will be happy, and that company also will grow. So this is all reason human makes mistakes while developing, while producing something. That mistakes has to be caught, right? So there is some mechanism to catch those issues. That is called a testing. So the team introduced in olden days, only development team was there. Development team are in the manufacturing industry, the manufacturer, right? Who was the machine or whatever is the machine also. If the measurements are not proper and defective product is given, and there should be some checkpoint. That checkpoint is not there, and it's going to be a problem. So that is the reason. So development team, what they are doing in the IT industry, they are testing somebody, coding and testing properly. But once they deployed to the production or somewhere, then they will see a lot of issues. And so who will correct that? So in order to correct all these issues, human mistakes, so they introduced a separate team, testing team. That's why we're all getting jobs now. A separate team than development team, because the development team, they will feel that my code is good, it will work. But in the real picture, it is not like that. There will be a lot of issues. So that is the reason testing team came into picture, and testing team will ensure that all the customer requirements are fulfilled and working properly. That's what the testing team responsibility. And you make sure it is not breaking every time what they made changes to the application. So that's what the So that is the reason testing came into picture, into the market, and we have enough jobs everywhere. Okay. So that's why a testing pure definition is, our intention is always finding the mistakes or bugs in the application and report those defects in some bug tracking tool. Once the developer fixes them, we'll make sure, retest them, and if it is working, close that. That's what the software testing means. So software testing is nothing but when you execute the different scenarios on the application, and while execution time, you will see defects or bugs, and you are expecting something. You means a customer voice. So customer is expecting something, but application behavior is different. If customer behavior, the application expectation, application behavior, both are not same, then that is called a defect. So if the defect is there, you report that defect and verify that defect once the development team is fixed and given to you new build. So that is what retesting you have to do, and then perform the regression testing and sign off. This is the all tasks you will perform. So we will discuss them one by one. Okay. And so in this testing process, we have a different categories. We have manual testing or functional testing, we call that. Automation testing we have. So manual testing or functional testing is purely done by a person, in person. So the person will involve, he is going to do every actions on application by yourself. So that is a manual tester job. So manually, he is going to execute everything. He will give data, he will prepare a test data, and he will execute them. He will enter the data, then he will check the output. All is present, it will happen. So that is the manual testing. Functional testing, we call that. And automation testing means you won't do. So everything is done by a tool, but you are the master. You will write a code, automation test code, automation test script using some software tool and one programming language, repeatable use cases, repeatable scenarios. Repeatable scenarios, you will go and test them. Repeatable scenarios, you will go and test and write the code for them. And one-time effort, this one-time effort. So you will write using a software tool and programming language, repeatable scenarios on the application, then keep running them. So next time onwards, you don't need to do manual testing once you did an automation test case. Next time onwards, tool will run for you. That is the automation testing. Basically, why you will go for automation testing is, so if you take a Amazon website or anything like Facebook or whatever, so the regularly you will use, what are the scenarios regularly people will use? Every day, if you want to do manually the same thing, and you might not have a time, because new feature people will develop again and again, right? Every 10 days, you will get a new feature. And that time when you will test a new feature, when you will test old features. So that regression testing, we call that, to make sure old functionality and new functionality both are working perfectly, and you will go for automation testing. To do that automation, we have so many tools in the market. So we'll discuss all those tools one by one. Okay, so anyhow, we are discussing already, right? We started in our first, we are learning the core Java. Then Selenium is the popular tool. And so there are other tools, many other tools are also available. Okay. So that is what manual testing and automation testing is. The key difference is here, manual testing is done manually by a human. The person who is the tester, he is going to do manually every task. Whereas automation testing is done with the use of test script, code, and automation tools. Manual testing process is not accurate. So if you are not clear, you will make mistakes. So where there is a possibility of human errors. That's why manual testing is not accurate. Whereas automation process is reliable, because once you write a correct script, automation test script, it is always going to perform same way. If there is a bug also, it will catch. So that is the difference of manual and automation testing. So manual testing is time-consuming process. See, if you want to test 10 test cases, for you it will take 1 day or 2 days. But same automation testing, it will give you in 5 or 10 minutes the output for you. See how much difference it is there. So very fast. Automation testing is very, very quick. And manual testing is possible without programming knowledge. You don't need any programming knowledge to do manual testing. Whereas automation testing is not possible without programming language. If you don't know a programming language knowledge, automation testing is not possible. That's why we are learning Java. So there are many programming languages Selenium supports, but we are choosing Java as a programming language. Manual testing allows random testing, whereas automation testing doesn't allow random testing. So if you do randomly testing with the automation tool, that is not going to perform properly. Basically, you have to give step by step to the tool. If you give step by step only, it will go to the next sequence. So there is a procedure for the automation testing. You have to follow from the beginning. Open the browser, then open the URL, then do the, so clearly tell Selenium or any other tool, okay, so next step is this one. Sequential steps you have to follow. Any one step misses also, your test case is not going to be fulfilled by the tool. That's the problem. Manual testing is you can do randomly. Here and there you can do random testing. So that's a manual testing, but there is no replacement for manual testing, guys. You have to do manual testing wherever you go. Even 100% automation is there also, you have to do initially manual testing. So manual testing is mandatory. At least one time you will do manual testing. The new feature or old features. For example, automation testing is failed. How do you know it is a test case issue or application issue? So you have to debug that, right? That time also you have to do manually only. Tool doesn't help you. Tool will just give you, okay, the test case is failed. Report will give you. But later, the triaging and debugging, all you have to do. So why it is failed, and you have to analyze what is the reason for failure, you have to find out. So that is the main cause for this, why manual testing is a very, very, very important in any company you go. Okay, so first manually you will do, then you will automate that to reduce our efforts. To make our job very easy, we'll go for automation, right? If you want to manage all manual old test cases and new test cases, it's not possible. So in order to reduce a burden on us, we are going for automation. That's a main difference between key differences. Basically, manual testing is a tedious effort. Automation testing is easy and it will reduce lot of effort for us. It will help us. So that's the automation testing. So let's go on. Any questions on this? A difference between manual testing and automation testing. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes, Ramesh.
Okay. So there are a few definitions we need to learn. What is fault, defect, failure means what? So these terminologies. So let's learn these terminologies. So what is a fault? A fault is nothing but particular condition that is not working in the software. Actually, it should work, but it's not working because of there is an error in the code. Because of that error, that is not performing. Suppose particular button is not working. That one function is not working. You're expecting it should work, but it's not working. That's there is a fault. And defect means the actual result and expectation, customer expectation, both are not matching. Then that is called a defect. So there is a bug, one more is there. Then what is the defect and bug? See, once you raise a defect, if the developer accepts that, then you will call that a bug. Okay, so both are similar. There is no difference. Okay, defect and bug. So defect is application behavior and customer expectation. Both are different, not matching. That is called defect. Remember this point. So customer is expecting. How do you know, sir? Customer expecting. Customer will give you his requirements in the document or in the some tool. He will mention, okay, I want like this. So while developing, the application also should behave the same way. You don't need to do your own derive. You don't need to derive any new requirements by you. So customer will give you everything. You read the one by one in plain English, the requirements will be there. You understand the requirements and you write the test cases for them and you execute them in the application. That's what the tester responsibility. Other than that, nothing. Okay, but in that there are complications will be there. So understanding the requirements, there will be sometime misunderstanding of the requirements. That's why you will clarify in advance before you are testing the application with a business analyst or product owner. So these all people will be available to you. So you have to discuss with them. So I didn't understand this requirements. Can you give me more clarity or examples how it works? Then they will explain. Or you talk with the development team before going for the execution. So get a clarity on the requirement. That's the most important. First and foremost responsibilities of a tester is understanding the requirements. That's a very crucial point. And so if that is not matching with the customer requirement, application behavior is not matching with the customer requirement, then that is called a bug or defect. So once you report the defect, okay, once you report the defect, you will take care, development team will take care. And so they will fix the bug and give it to us. They'll fix the bug and give it to us. Okay. And what is failure? A failure is nothing but the entire component is not working. Suppose payment system, you want to pay something, or you want to book a ticket, or whatever you want to do. So you want to book a online product. That main thing is not working. And that is, the entire system is failed, the failure of that component. So basically a small component, a small module, entire thing is not working at all. One component is not working at all. Then that is called a failure of the system. So it is actually, it should work, but it's not working as per specifications, as per requirements. The entire component is broken. Broken means it is not working. Then that is called failure. A defect means a small, anything is a deviation, that is a defect, but entire component is not working. Suppose you are paying a amount for the product, the payment is failed, and you will scare, right? So what happened in between that? So that the entire payment system, payment gateway is not proper. So that's a failure means. It's any component is not working. That's called failure. Okay, any questions?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. Now, so these are all not necessary, because that's our examination purpose. These are important, but so what is the main objective of testing is basically you have to analyze the requirements or user stories or design or code and execute them. So make sure all the requirements are fulfilled in the developed product or application. So you have to validate whether the feature is working properly or not, and it is working as per stakeholders' expectations, it is meeting, and make sure and you give the quality. Each requirement is working properly. So there is no issues in that. That confidence you have to build in the application. So then customer will be happy, and your company also will survive in the long term in the market. So basically testing will prevent the defects. It's a first customer who is using the application. Basically testing is nothing but the first customer who is using the application before anybody else. You are the one first uses the application. So testing is nothing but you are using, like you are using a mobile, right? You will use all the features. Same way application first you are going to use in your environments, and you have to think out of box how people is going to use this. And this kind of questions has to raise in your mind, and you will prevent those defects, anything is there while using the application. Okay, you're trying to use different way, how it is working. You will check all those scenarios, and that's the testing, what it will do. And you will basically in testing, you will find the defects and all those things. Basically, you will reduce the defects. So we cannot say 100% no, there are no defects, but most of the issues you will find out, and you will clearly tell that. Okay, so that's the testing objective always. And there are so many issues, but we don't need all this. Okay, so the next one is, what is the difference between quality assurance and quality control and testing? So what is mean by this? quality control, what it will do, quality assurance, what it will do, and what is testing. So let's go on to this, discuss this point is very important. Sometimes they are asking the difference between quality assurance and quality control. So don't confuse all these places, okay? Testing is basically can find the defects when they are removed by the development team, and quality will improve in the application. That's what the testing, right? But quality control is nothing but you're just doing inspection and walkthrough and reviews. Walkthrough means what? So you're getting information about each requirement, like code walkthrough, requirements walkthrough. Walkthrough is nothing but getting the information from other person. That's a walkthrough. So code walkthrough is nothing but you can just walk through the development team or any person in your team. You can ask, can you explain me this piece of code? And he will explain you what that code is doing. That's a code walkthroughs. Requirement walkthrough means particular requirement you are not clear. Go and ask to the either business analyst or product owner, and he will explain what this requirement is doing. That's the walkthrough is nothing but just don't confuse with the normal walkthrough means in the testing. This is the meaning of walkthrough means getting the information. You are knowing something about that. You don't know that. You're getting some info about that particular object. So that is called walkthroughs here in the testing. So reviews means review. View means look, right? Review. So re-looking into that. You look, already somebody developed it. You check that. Checkpoint. That's a reviews. You're reviewing the other person who developed that. For example, requirements are given by product owner or business analyst. So what you will review, the requirements are correct or not, and these are, so they will discuss with you. And also you prepared a test cases. Whether you prepared correct test cases, how do you know? So you have to review with development team or a product owner. They will review your test cases. Producer and other person is the reviewer. Producer is not the reviewer. Who produces the documents is not the reviewer. Producer just a spectator in the review meeting. The person who is going to review is your superior or your colleague or product owner, a development team. They will review your work. That is the reviews means. Reviews are mandatory. So once you do the test case designing, test case writing, make sure you review them, whether you covered all the requirements in your test cases or not. That will be confirmed by product owner or development team by this concept, reviews concept. It's a mandatory word. So once the test case design is done, you must review them with a product owner or development team. Okay, that's a very important point. Inspections is nothing but many people will participate, all your team members, and they will discuss about particular document, whether that is correct or not. So everything you will discuss. That is what this inspections, not to fix anything, just to find out the mistakes, any mistakes are there in the documents. So basically these are all verification processes. That's the quality assurance. And testing is basically verification and validation. Both is a testing. So executing the test cases, that's a validation. But before execution, whatever the activities you will do, requirements analysis, requirements understanding, and reviews, test case design, everything comes under this quality control. That is called verification process. Okay, that's the difference between a testing is both verification and validation. Quality control is just verifying using these techniques. These are the three techniques: inspections, walkthroughs, and reviews. So these are the three techniques you will use to perform the quality control check. Okay, so these are the different testing activities that support the achievement of appropriate levels of quality. So what are the different testing activities? Read and understand the requirements. First testing activity. What is the first foremost testing activity? They will give the requirements, right? You read, understand the requirements. If you don't understand, in this inspection meeting, you can ask. In this walkthrough, you can get info from any of the team member. And that's the two activities. You will just getting more info about the requirements. Once you get the information clarity, then you will start designing the test cases. That's a second activity in the quality control or verification activity. So what is that second activity? Designing or writing the test cases for the requirement. That's a second activity. This is the most important activity in any tester life. Wherever you go, first you will write the test cases. Any company you join, you have to write the test cases. There is no escape from this. So test case designing is the crucial part. So many people will struggle here only. Test case writing. We will practice more, don't worry. And next, once your test case design is done, you have to ask for reviews. This is the third approach, third technique of verification process or a quality control process. So these three are verification activities or quality control activities. Then what is quality assurance? Quality assurance is they will keep on monitoring and improving the process in the entire company. It's not related to particular project. So these activities are particular project, but these people, a separate team, their responsibility is monitoring and improving the company inside process is maintained or not, like ISO process is maintained or not, CMMI level process is maintained or not. That will be checked by these guys. Every department, there are a lot of departments in the companies, right? You have a QA department, development department, HR department, production department, purchase department, network department. So many departments will be there, right? Payroll departments. All these departments are following the process or not. How do you know that? So that process is maintained and improved by these quality assurance people. They are not testers. They are not application testers. Okay. So don't confuse with the testing and don't confuse with the quality assurance team. So these are all called internal auditors. Internal auditors. You know, right? Auditors, what they will do? They will monitor the process. So that is what these quality assurance people will do. Before going for external audit, these guys will audit every department monthly or bi-monthly, and they will go and check whether they are following the process or not. If they are not following on any agreed upon standards or ISO standards or a CMMI level standards, they will file a complaints, non-compliance on that team, on that department. They have to make sure they will give a deadline. By that time, that department has to fix that issue. So that's this guys, entire process related, these people will maintain. Okay, clear? So between testing, quality control, and quality assurance. Then quality management. Quality management is nothing but both, all these activities will be maintained. Testing activity, process activity, everything. All comes under quality management. So quality management includes all activities that direct and control an organization with a regard to quality. That's the quality management. So it comes all the quality related under this quality management. So if you see here, mainly quality assurance is preventive in. Sorry. Any questions? So quality assurance is a preventive in nature. Okay, preventive in nature. And quality control is a defective in nature. Detective in nature. Detective means it finds the bugs. That's the meaning of this. Quality assurance establish the process. If process is not there, they will establish the process. Quality control is so specific product or service related actions. These are all. So quality assurance people sets up the measurement programs, because how do you know the process is improving or not? It is there. So they will measure with some measurements they will take care, and those will be applied to evaluate the whether process is implementing or not. They will check that every monthly once or bi-monthly once. They will go and monitor, audit that department. That's a measurement actions. Quality control, basically in the application, specific attributes are present or not, you will verify. That's the quality control action. And basically quality assurance will identify the weaknesses in the process and try to improve them. That's their responsibility. And you will identify anything is missing in the application or product. That's the quality control responsibility. You make sure the developer correct the defects, not you. You are not the one going to fix the defects. Who is going to fix the defect? The developer. Developer will do that. You are only finding, your responsibility is finding the defects is your responsibility and reporting them. Okay, I got this bug, and you will report. If you're not telling, how does he know? That's what you're reporting, we call that. Once you find the defect, you will report it. Once you report and you both analyze whether it is a valid or invalid. If it is a valid, you will take up. Development team will take up and he will work on that. Once he is completed his work, he fixes the defect and it will come to your bucket again and you will verify. So that's a process, complete process. Okay, that's a testing basically. And quality assurance is a management responsibility, and quality control is particular individual tester or team responsibility. So quality assurance is, so you will monitor entire company, but here you will, quality control is each application, it's a different. For each application, it's a different. That's the difference between quality assurance and quality control. Okay, so the main, any questions on that? Main important thing we are discussing, this is the very, very crucial. Most of the times they will ask in the interviews this one only. What is verification and validation? So you need to focus from here onwards. All other whatever we discussed, just for your information purpose I have given, but this is the one you have to read. This topic you have to read thoroughly, this one. So what is verification? I already given there, but still we are explaining one more time. What is verification and what is validation? What is verification testing? What is validation testing? So verification, how you will do verification is, you will do with the reviews and meetings, like inspections, walkthroughs, and review meetings. That's how you will do verification testing. Then what you will verify? You will evaluate the documents and test plans, or project plan document, or code, requirements, and specifications. You will evaluate whether they are correct or not. That's what you will do in the verification testing. So I'm giving how you will do verification testing, what you will evaluate. So what things you will evaluate. So you will do verification with reviews, walkthroughs, and inspection meetings. For what purpose you will do that verification testing? You are evaluating any document. It can be a test case document, test plan document, test strategy document, project plan document, requirement document, code or a design document, anything. You will evaluate whether it is correct or not. That's the, just you are looking, that's it, right? You are not doing any action there. That's a verification testing. So for doing that, you have some checklist. Sir, how do I know that is correct or wrong? You have some checklist. So follow the checklist and then check that whether it is correct or wrong. That is the verification testing. So basically verification, you will concern mostly on the application or particular component or particular application feature, whether it is meeting the customer requirement set or not. So what is your verification testing? What you will do? Whether the application or particular component or a feature is meeting the requirements or not. That is what you will verify in the verification testing. You're not executing. Please catch this point. You're just checking, okay, requirements are there or not. That's it. So is the deliverable, that means is the application built, that means designed according to the specification or not? That is the question you have to raise. So in your mind, okay, this requirement is, you take a lot of requirements we have, right? Requirement 1, requirement 2, requirement 3, like that. You check each requirement is available in the application or not. That is what this meaning. Is the deliverable built according to the specification or not? So that is the question raises in the verification. So that verification process you will do so many ways. I told you reviews, walkthroughs, inspections. So what the reviews will do? Re-looking into the documents. As per testing, it will be a test case document review, requirements review, right? So reviews are many types are there. Peer-to-peer review. Peer-to-peer means colleague to colleague. If you write a test case document, your colleague will review before going for the higher reviews. Like you're going for the tomorrow, your manager is going to review. He mailed, so we'll review the test case document. Then what you will do before going further with the manager review, you will review with your colleague. So you will ask, so I have written this test case, can you please review? So he will review them. And because your perspective will be different, his perspective will be different. So what he will do, he will also find some mistakes in your document, or spelling mistakes, or grammatical mistakes, or requirements are not matching. This requirement is missed. He will find out something. So that is the peer-to-peer review. Then peer-to-manager means you are reviewing with your manager. And technical reviews, either it can be a development team or business analyst or product manager or customer. Any one of them will review your documents. So that's the reviews means. Reviews means what? Re-looking into the documents. Somebody produced The other person will review the documents. That's a reviews. Walkthroughs. What is meant by walkthroughs? So basically it's an informal meeting just to get the information. You just go, any person, you directly walk through the person and you can ask about particular piece of code, explain me, and particular requirement I didn't get, can you explain me? And you're basically getting the information. That's a walkthrough. So don't, so think this, the walkthrough means like walking. No, it's not that point. Walkthrough is nothing but you are getting some info about, it can be a code walkthrough, it can be a test cases walkthrough, or it can be a requirement walkthrough. Just getting information. You don't know, but you're asking some person, you're getting info on that. That's a walkthrough. So example is code walkthrough, or a requirements walkthrough, or a test cases walkthrough, or code walkthrough. We will tell that. That's examples. Next, inspections. What is meant by inspection? So inspection is another meeting. Okay, it's just another meeting. In that 3 to 8 people will be involved. All your team members will be involved. And in that there are a moderator, reader, and recorder. Okay, so recorder will take the notes, meeting notes. Okay, and reader will read the document. Moderator will conduct the meeting. So these are the 3 people mandatory will be there. Or one of the recorder will be, it can be our one of team member also. And reader is one of the, so who is the person conducting, or some other person will read the documents. The main objective of this inspection is, in the whatever the document you are inspecting, that document you will check what is missing. So you won't fix anything, just whether those requirements are correct or not, whether that document is correctly written or not, you will find out that. That's what the inspection will be. Other than that, but it is a more formalized meeting. Not like you cannot directly walk through the person and talk. No, this is a formal meeting. So they will conduct a meeting, and in that meeting, everybody will participate and they will discuss. So they just find what is missing in the document, they will find out in the document. That's what the inspection meeting. So this is all called verification process. Are you clear on the verification process?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is the validation process? Validation, when you will do? Validation is nothing but actual testing. Actual testing means you have written the test cases in the verification process. Now you need to execute. You are getting a build from the development team. The build means a collection of software code they have written, combined entire thing, and they will deploy in the one server. And that means you can access the application. So while using the application, you will execute a test cases. Like, I will ask search feature is there. Search feature is there. The search feature, what you will do, you have to give some product, right, to search, which product you want to search. So then what you will do, you will follow the steps, right? You'll follow the steps. So what you will do first, can you tell me from the beginning, okay? So I just told, okay, you book a product. So what you will do?
Search the product name, sir.
That's a wrong answer.
Product
Right?
name.
That's a wrong answer, right? What you will do, this is the what I'm telling you. The people will jump on the, you're in the first step itself, you didn't climb, but you will jump in the 30th floor. So that is not the process here, I'm telling. Testing means that is not the process. Step by step, that's the process. So still you have to change your mindset. When you're testing something, you have to start from the beginning, right? What you will do. So I asked you to book the product. So what you will do?
First go to the
Hmm.
online, go to website.
That's okay.
Yeah, then enter the name, then go to
Yeah.
search page,
Mhm.
then search whatever product you want to search.
Okay, good.
Yeah, then we'll go through all the images, then go to particular item, then search whatever we need. Like if you are looking like anything like box or
Right,
anything, so easy. So we have some dimensions, right? So we
right,
will think,
exactly.
yeah, so is that our dimensions are matched with this product. So yeah, we will go through everything, whatever according to our requirements, we will check
Right.
if that product is like up to our requirements or not. Then yeah, if it is everything is to our requirements, then we will book the product.
Right, let's see how many steps she is explained. All this you have to do, right? Without all this doing, and product name, what you will do? First you have to open the application browser, then you have to open the URL first, right? Which application you are testing, you have to open the URL, right? Then you might need a login also to that product, that application. Then you will go for searching the which product you want to search. So without doing all these steps directly, where you will do for product name? That is not the correct way. This is the what step by step. So many steps will be there. That is what testing means. So see, she has given all the, you are buying. So for example, you are buying Apple iPhone 14. You will see what are all the features it has. That features is helping you or not, you will check, right? And reviews also you will see whether that is proper or not. What is the price? The image is correct, or look and feel good or bad. Everything you will check, right? Without we are buying and blindly will go and buy. No, right? So many things you will do. And so you will get a lot of products in the search. But which one you want, that only will choose. And you required the searched product is showing in the list or not, you will check that, right? That is also one verification, right? Here execution is typing the product name, opening the application URL. These are all execution activities. Logging to the application, these are all execution activities. There is no verification here. The verification also comes here in the list, search results list. Your typed product is present or not, you will verify. That's a verification activity, one more. But a execution activity you have done. You opened a browser, you type the address bar, the application URL. These are all execution activities. That's the validation steps. You're validating when you type, you're able to log in or not. When you enter product, that's execution activity. So your typing means execution activity. The code will execute internally and it is giving output. When you click on the search button, clicking on search button is there is something code will trigger internally. You don't know that. Code will trigger internally and give the results to you. There are a lot of process will happen internally. That's all abstracted for you. Everything abstracted for you and giving only results for you. But inside, a lot of process will take care. And it will go and talk to the different servers. And then it will fetch the results for you. But anyhow, internally, the code is executing and giving the output. So that when you're doing any action, that's a validation process. And then verification also you are doing here. So whether my product is present or not, then the go to the product details page, the product is matching my features or not. And whether all the requirements, whatever I want, those requirements are there in this product or not, you will validate. Right? So many things you will validate. So verification you will do. Verify and validation. Both you will do. That's a validation is nothing but actual testing. Actual testing is nothing but any product or component or application, you are determining whether it is meeting the customer needs or not, you will check. Right? So you're buying a laptop, whether all the requirements is meeting your requirement set or not. That feature requirements, the product requirements, whatever it has, that is going to help you based on your requirements. It is fulfilling or not, you are checking. It is meeting your requirements or not, you will check. That is the validation means. That how you will achieve? By doing a lot of actions, right? By doing a lot of actions. You typed the product name, you clicked on the product, and you are going to the next. And then you're doing a lot of actions here. That is the validation. So validation is whether the product is meeting the user needs, user problems is solved or not. That is what validation means. So validation mainly focuses on, is the deliverable fit for the purpose of the customer or not? You are going to check in your testing. That's the validation means. So I want to book a flight tickets. You cannot go and walk through the store, right? Any somewhere, right? Booking store. You don't want to go. So there is online, your problem is solved. Online booking systems are available. That problem is solved for you, right? Even so, you want to buy a product, you don't need to walk to the store. You can buy online. That your problem is solved. So this is the, all the things, whether that application is solving your problem or not. So how you are solving, you are testing that step by step. So that is called validation. So in the validation, you will do actions. Basically actions you will do, like typing, clicking, and navigating from one page to other pages. And the calculations are correct or not, you will check. So this is all verification. Calculations is correct. For example, you are buying two products. One product cost $150. So you are buying two products. Two products cost $300. It is charging or not, you will check that. Or is it charging more than that? But for example, he is giving a discount, 10% discount. So that discount is applied or not, you will verify. That's a verification activity, right? So this is all verification and validation, both will be there in your testing. So that's the validation means. And so validation we will do with the different methodologies, techniques you will apply. There are black box testing, white box testing, gray box testing. These techniques you will apply. Verification techniques I already told. So inspections, walkthroughs, reviews. Basically, you're verifying whether the requirement set is meeting or not. And in the validation, you're doing the action, actually executing the code, basically. Sir, where I am executing code? Executing nothing but performing the actions on the application elements, inputting the data, doing some action on the elements, then you're getting the output. So that's the validation. That output correct or not. For example, you clicked on, for example, forget password is, you forget your password. You want to reset. You clicked on forget password. That is not working. So what you will do? You cannot reset your password, right? That means that's a bug or not? It is throwing 404 page not found. It's a bug, right? That means
Yeah.
your problem is not solved by that your application. That means that's a bug, a defect. You will raise the defect. That's it. So you're testing that, right? You did a click action, but it thrown 404 not found, page not found, something. Link is not working, link is broken. So that is all. Whether it is functionality is working or not, you will check in the validation. Okay, so let's go and see all the differences. This is the very important. Please read this. So right, and a lot of interview questions, mostly asked a question. This one, what is verification and validation? So verification is checking the documents, design, coding, and programs. And validation is a dynamic mechanism of testing and validating the product. So verification doesn't involve execution of the code. You're just verifying. I told you, right? The prices verification. That's a verification is not involves any execution code. It won't execute. Just you're checking, okay, correct product or not. That's a verification. Requirements are correct or not. It's a verification, right? And validation means without executing, you won't see the different pages, different outputs. You're doing actions. You're executing the code means that's it. If you do action on the UI, then code will execute internally and give the output to you. So navigating to different pages and calculations, all internally will execute and give the output to you. That output is correct or not, you have to check that by doing different actions. That's a validation. So these all actions you will write in your test case document. Don't worry, step by step. So this all the steps we narrated, right? Open the application, then log into the application. These are all steps, execution steps, step by step. Always remember, step by step you have to follow. That you will verify, you will write, and you will execute them step by step by reading one by one step. That's a validation. Verification uses methods like reviews, walkthroughs, inspections, and desk checking. And validation uses a black box testing, white box testing, gray box testing, and non-functional testing techniques. Verification, so whether the software is meeting the customer specifications or not, you will check. That's a verification. Validation, checking the software is solving the user problems or not, you will check. Is fulfilling the user needs or not, you will check. That's a validation. It finds the bugs early stage in the development lifecycle. Verification, basically, initial stage itself, you are checking, right? Requirements is correct or not, everything. If requirements are correct and you won't make any mistakes later, that will solve a lot of issues. So that's why it finds the early defects in the development lifecycle. So validation can find bugs that the verification cannot catch. So verification cannot catch functional bugs. So that kind of things you can catch with the validation. So verification target is basically your requirements, documents, design documents, code. That's all the target for verification. And the target for validation is your actual application. So which application you are testing, that's the target. So QA team does verification, make sure that the requirements are met as per the document, the customer document. So validation involves testing team will participate here. Basically, you're validating the each and every scenario is working or not. The functionality is working or not. So verification comes before validation. Validation comes after verification. That's a main difference. Okay. So that's it for the day. And tomorrow we'll discuss the SDLC process. Here also I have given, but whichever is convenient for you, either this difference or this difference, you just read this. At least 5 points is mandatory. Read them properly. Okay, that's enough. Any questions? That's it for the day.